going to bring in next one of our special guests. As I was talking to you guys, she's one of the students of Proverbs 2 to 6, and this morning, what just amazes me is that she's traveled all the way from Louisiana to be with us. She traveled 12 hours to be with us this morning. Jayla, thank you so much for being with us. Jayla, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm currently 20 years old. I would consider myself a pretty strong-minded person.
Okay.
Considering everything I've been through. And right now, I'm just kind of aspiring entrepreneur.
Fantastic, fantastic. Jayla, tell us, as you have gone through this journey, there are so many kids, just like what I was saying to Amaya, right? You are now doing a 3rd year in college.
Yes.
Fantastic. So, what intrigued me is like your email. This 2 weeks ago or last week, you sent an email. Normally, I would have missed that email. Somehow, I ended up reading your email. It was a long email, right? You're currently in Aiken, South Carolina, right? But in the middle of your school year, you actually took a turn and you went to Louisiana. Why is it?
I noticed that the reason that I went to school, God kind of spoke to me. He did speak to me. I don't want to say kind of. He spoke to me and assured me of a different path that I needed to go on.
Okay.
I realized that my time, my energy was needed in a bigger purpose. So I originally started going to school for psychology in the hopes of going into neuroscience and then transferring that into kingdomship, tying those two in. Working with mental health, child psychologists, the whole thing. And I started to realize the problems in food poverty. So I became the 2nd vice president in NAACP in my freshman year, which was a huge honor for me. And I started connecting with my community and realized that there was a huge problem with circulating the Black dollar within the community. When it came to the food that we ate, when it came to our mental health, everything in general, there was a lack of support there, and there was a lack of a push because everything was put on the youth. And you can't expect the youth to really do anything if the youth is being driven by old customs and old teachings. So I realized I had to be that person to go into the forefront and be a leader as opposed to a follower, and that's the hardest thing to do. So going into researching food poverty, I realized there's a huge lack of Black farmers now in Louisiana. And with my family also being from there, I took that as an opportunity to take a break from school and redirect myself into, the policies I need to get into, connecting and networking with different farmers and different young people that I can start building this community with.
Fantastic. So what is in there? I saw the farming, your interest in farming, and your interest in helping the Black farmers in Louisiana. But you also talked about culinary and so on. There's a little bit more than that, right?
Yes.
So why before you go answer that, why there's more reason for you to be in Louisiana than that? Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
So not just my mother in South Carolina was incarcerated. When I was 8 years old, my father was also incarcerated when I was around 2 to 3 years old. So I grew up without both of my parents physically in the household. So my family in Louisiana, we also have land, and I also needed to go there for the support of my grandmother since she is anxious of my father coming home, thank God. He was granted clemency after receiving a life sentence. So he's been incarcerated for about 20 years and went in front of the board and they heard his case. And by next year, he should be home.
Wonderful. Here's a kid just taking a turn from her life from Aiken, South Carolina. She's just like traveling all the way to Louisiana, reset her life. She will find the next journey of her life in Louisiana, but she's also setting herself so that she can help her grandmother who has helped her as well as helped her grandmother prepare for the arrival of her dad. It's just an amazing quality. And that's what intrigued me. That's what, I wanted to honor this morning, your heart, because that's what the next generation needs to see. A lot of times it is very easy for us to forget the past, the people that has helped us. It is very easy for us to leave, that part and not just like go back to it. And that's what, is so exciting that, you're taking time to do that one. So tell us now about the culinary program that you're talking about and horticulture. What is in for you? Is that the extension to your farm idea?
It is an extension. I would love to go into agronomy and become a certified crop advisor. So a certified crop advisor is almost like the agent to the farmer. So it's the people that, in a way, they're an agent to connect from the land to the table. So with food poverty in the Black community, there is a lack of nutrition. There's a lack of knowledge about our nutrition. We kind of are looking at the survival aspects of what we had to eat. So for example, soul food, there's nothing wrong with soul food, but there needs to be a difference in how we nurture and grow our own soul food and how we cook that and how we give it to our children, because we're in a different world now. So we need to handle our bodies in a whole different way. We can't keep going to old customs.
I needed a dictionary next to me when I was reading your email, all these big words that you had, but I'm very impressed and glad that you're doing what you're doing. And another thing, Jayla, when you get to that part, you talked about a school, what is about that school? If there is like a kid that's listening on the line, what is that school's offering and why are you going after that?
I'm currently looking at Purdue University, and I'm looking at that right now because I am taking a physical break to get myself together and actually create a plan for when I do go back to school. So Purdue University is just a university with a really good program that helps you get certified.
It's Ivy League too.
It's an Ivy League, yes.
Yeah.
And they have options to go into online programs. So you can just sign up if you can pay the fee in full, or you can get a discount and actually just get the full material and educate yourself, which is my personal learning style.
Excellent, excellent, Jayla. We are extremely proud and happy at what you have achieved and where you're heading in this direction. I just wanted to open the floor for the students to just or unmute yourself. And if you have any questions, even if you are a volunteer that's dialed in today, do you have any questions for Jayla? You can, text your question, or you can unmute yourself and ask the question as well. Or any words of encouragement for Jayla?
Yes, indeed. My name is Barbara, and I am just so taken back and excited, like to be my own daughter. I am just so proud of the avenue that you've taken and let us know that you can make it regardless of what's in your past, and you have a definite positive future. You're not thinking of yourself, but you think of others, and then to know that you're going back to your grandmother. My grandmother raised me, so I know that I wouldn't be where I am today without her, and so just to be able to reach back. And so I thank God that when your parents are coming out, and I'm sure they're very proud of you, but I am really, you're such a great example. I'm so glad that Dr. Shore had you on today. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you too.
You're welcome.
Do I doubt leaving school?
Do you ever doubt?
I don't. I would go into mainly expectations. coming from where I'm coming from, there were a lot of expectations statistically of where I would be at this point, with having both of my parents incarcerated, being raised mostly by my elders, and then kind of leading my own path. I would either be in the streets, or I'll be in a mental hospital, or I'll be, thank God, pregnant or dead, I don't regret leaving school at all, because I really took the time out at a young age to tune in with God. And he really told me that this was the opportunity to go. This is the hardest path, honestly, for me. Because with school, I could just get financial aid. I could just stay in the dormitories and keep receiving free meals. I could keep just taking the classes and going with the flow, and then doing what everybody else has done. So I don't regret it. Really, I'm excited to see where God is leading me at this point. I don't recommend just dropping out without a plan. But I do recommend tuning in with God and listening to your own story, because you can look to other people. Like, I'm just an example for many of you. I'm not the blueprint. So I'd rather you tune into your own experiences and listen to what you need to do, as opposed to following someone else. So no, I don't regret it.
Excellent. Any other question, students?
Hi, Jayla. I'm Katina. I'm one of the Kids2Career mentors and family coaches with Proverbs 226. And I am just really, really excited to hear your story. And especially in a time when social media rules and following people on social media is like the way of life now. Do you have a social media account or a page or anything, if someone would want to follow you, so that they can at least see exactly what you're doing, if they want to become involved in any way, or if they have any questions that might come up later, that they might be able to reach out to you? Because I just feel like so many of the kids here can benefit from following healthy individuals with a good head on their shoulders, instead of following people that means them no well at all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I do have a social media. I'm currently working on, I try to use social media mainly as what it was used for, what it was made for, networking, as opposed to my own personal, vanity. My name is Chamomile Corner. That is a business I'm working on right now. I was going to wait, but I'm glad this opportunity came up. I have Chamomile Corner on Twitter. That is the only thing that I am functioning right now. And I'm trying to build a database. It is a organization that I'm working on to have a safe space and community for people who are learning to connect with themselves and reach God in the same way. Because a lot of people do not understand that to reach God is to also reach within yourself. You are not God, but God is living through you. So through that, you can find a lot of answers through your experiences. You just ask the question and you just go to people that you can trust. So Chamomile Corner on Twitter, I do recommend you message me, email me. I am open.
Excellent. Any other questions?
Thank you. I can drop it in the chat if you wouldn't mind spelling it for me, so that those that might want to jot it down can have that.
Okay, at CHAMOMILE, Chamomile Corner, CORNER. So it's all one word.
Can you repeat just one more time?
Thank you.
Yes, CHAMOILE COR.
Oh, even better. Thank you.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Excellent. Any other questions for Jayla?
Jayla, how are you making connections with the Black farmers, or getting and increase that interest for others to enter into that area?
Because social media is such a big thing now for small businesses and communities, I've been connecting through them using Instagram. So I'll first, go online the best I can and research Black-owned farms. And then from there, read the policies and everything that's going on within the certain states. And then from there, I would try to look them up on social media and connect with them personally so they know who I am. And then from there, get their email address, connect with them that way, because you want to try different avenues to show that you're available and that you're persistent and consistent. So mainly try to look through social media. And then from there, make sure that your social media is professional, is presentable. You at least have a picture of yourself and what you're about. You don't have to be super cleaned up, but you do have to be presentable because you are going to represent that business in some sort of way. And then from there, make sure you have an established email.
Wow, so you're doing this on your own per se. It's not like you have an organization behind you, or you're just going out there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you.
God has certainly planted a seed in your heart, and who knows how many places that seed is going to bring forth fruit. Just all it takes is a mustard seed, and he's definitely going to put you in give you some open connections that are going to just
Thank you.
blossom.
Yeah, who knows? 5 and 2 and trade school may also have an option.
Yeah, that's great.
Wonderful. Any other questions, kids, for Jayla before we wrap up?
Just a comment. This is Sarah Jackson, another volunteer, and I'm just so pleased to meet you this morning, even though we're not face to face, but you are right here, and you're such an inspiration for our children and for us, for volunteers, knowing that this is a product of our praying for our children and parents and caregivers. And we wish you all of the best, and God bless you and your family, and where God is going to lead you. Thank you so much for being a wonderful, wonderful role model for our children who are part of Proverbs 226 prison ministry. We're so grateful. And I am very concerned about you getting home safely because there's a storm coming.
That's Sarah.
So
just be sure.
Miss Sarah, the thing is, this half an inch to 1 inch of snow is like a very normal.
Very normal to you, but to me, who is from a very small little village, and everything shuts down and all the bread is off of the shelf by now, I need to be sure this one student of ours gets back home safely. Okay.
Thank you. Praise God.
Yes.
Oh yes, we do. Thank you.
Any other questions for Jayla? Wonderful. Jayla, this is amazing. You've taken time to come from Louisiana, driving 12 hours to be here with us this morning and speak to the kids. It just takes so much of, a strength, to do what you're doing. We wish you well, and we will continue to come along the journey. We wanted to see you settle down in Louisiana. And we wish, everything to go well for your dad as he comes home, and that this is a next phase of that journey that we are so excited for you. Again, for any of the kids, definitely, if you want to follow her information is on the chat to do. But in the meantime, I hope every one of you students have actually put like a what career that you want to focus on. Go ahead, if you haven't already done that, do it below on that chat. We will come back again on the third Saturday in February. And in the meantime, have an amazing day, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Jayla, we wish you safe travels back.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a blessed one.